So skirrets can be a great and tasty addition to growing in a garden. They can also be a great pollinator attractant as well, and an attractant for many beneficial insects. However, the seeds of this plant can be kind of tricky to germinate. And so in this video, that is what I'm going to be briefly discussing. I just had some extraordinary germination of this plant this year in 2024. A lot of seeds germinated, and I just want to kind of document that success and kind of discuss a little bit of what may have contributed to that successful germination. So this here, this second one up, well, this is the lovage, and then the second one up from that is actually the Skirret seedlings. And I thought none of these would come up because I started these down in my basement. I had artificial lighting on them, and none of the plants came up until like the week before I put them out. And the one plant that has larger leaves than the rest, that was the only plant that came up like a week and a half before I started putting these guys outside. And these had been indoors for like, this pot of soil had been indoors planted for like a month, maybe over a month, and hardly any of these sprouted until I started putting the whole tray outside just to, try it, because I had pretty much almost given up on them. And then all of a sudden, almost all of them seemed germinated, and I definitely like way overplanted this. But so I'm not sure if it was like a temperature thing. They were getting artificial light. Maybe it was humid enough outside, and it was warmer enough. So definitely, if you're germinating skirrets from seed, do not throw out the soil or compost it. If you're having trouble germinating it indoors, just wait a little bit until it gets warm enough when you can put these pots outdoors and they can kind of get a little bit more natural conditions. Now, I have tried planting skirret seeds right out in the garden, just in the normal soil, and they do seem to have I do seem to have challenges getting them to sprout, getting them to germinate in those conditions. But in pots on the back porch outside, they seem to germinate very well. And all this seed is seed that I have collected from previous skirret plants out in the garden. So some sources say that stratification may be necessary or beneficial for skirret seeds. Now, I haven't done the full cold stratification. It is kind of cool in my basement, which is where I germinated these seeds, or where I started germinating these seeds, right? So it was cool. I had artificial lighting on them, and I kept them, fairly, regularly watered, but I did not see germination for basically over a month. And so it's possible that the skirret seeds either needed the warmer conditions outdoors, and maybe it was more humid, or maybe they benefited from the slightly cooler temperatures in the basement, and just to help break their dormancy, and maybe some of the seed coats broke down a little bit, degraded in the soil, making it easier for the seeds to sprout, potentially, I don't know. And then when I put them outdoors, I had just a massive germination, and they all germinated at once. So, definitely some things to think about there. But, either way, regardless of how you look at it, it worked. Just the process of, sowing them in either late March or early April in the basement, and then a month later taking them outdoors, and then they germinated within, I don't know, a few days, maybe a week. So if you're having trouble germinating the skirret seeds indoors, and maybe you're even getting a 0% germination, which is pretty much what happened to me, maybe just change some things up a little bit. Start putting them outdoors after a little while. Make sure you keep them watered and all that, and see if that helps with the germination rate. Skirret is a new crop for me, and I'm just kind of learning as I go with this plant. So hopefully this video helps you out as well if you're having issues growing skirret plants, or at least germinating them. And so thank you so much for checking out this video. I appreciate it, and I look forward to seeing you in a future video. Take care.